Alright, welcome back everybody. My name is Pritesh here with Kaizen Crypto, bringing you another video. So I hope you guys are all doing well. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. In this video, DeFi on Cardano will enable users to not only earn passive staking rewards, but also earning a yield using DeFi protocols. Social activity for Cardano is at an all-time high. Could this be related to the 100% price rally that we've seen in recent days? On a more broader sense of the crypto market, BlackRock, one of the world's largest investment firms, has joined the Bitcoin business. Taking a look at that, as well as metadata on Cardano. What are some potential use cases for this new feature being rolled out in preparation for Goguen? And last up, if you all stay till the very end, taking a look at Bitcoin dominance. We're tracking this chart now for several weeks. When are we expecting this next altcoin season? So lots of interesting things to talk about here in this video today. All of that coming up right after our sponsor. Our sponsor for today's video is Jaya Stake Pool. Jaya Stake Pool is a charitable Cardano stake pool based in Canada. Every month, Jaya Stake Pool gives 1/3 of their profits to charities that heal the earth and reinvests at least 1/3 of their profits back into pledge. Be sure to check out their website at jayastakepool.com. Some of the charities that they've already supported, so far they've donated $73 to One Tree Planted, and another $73 donated to the Ocean Cleanup Project. Your delegation matters. Make a difference with Jaya Stake Pool, ticker GAIA. Thank you so much to Jaya Stake Pool for sponsoring today's video. So to get things started, taking a look at DeFi on Cardano. This is a hot topic since we're talking about Goguen, very highly anticipated to see some DeFi protocols that are currently built on Ethereum actually get moved over onto Cardano. One of the most notable projects that we're looking at today is Liqwid Finance. This is a DeFi solution solely built on Cardano. What's interesting about this protocol is that it'll enable users to earn governance tokens by providing liquidity to the ADA market on Liqwid, all while having their tokens remain staked on the mainnet. So very interesting to see this development. Liqwid DeFi protocol received Project Catalyst funding, and they are moving full steam ahead to see this project develop. Another amazing accolade is that they won the first prize at IOHK's Wyoming Hackathon in October, and they said that they received a lot of inquiries from the Cardano community about their upcoming Liqwid tokens. So I wanted to talk a bit about that, hopefully answer some questions. I know that they are going to be covering this in more detail, but just to briefly discuss some of the questions that we're seeing. So as far as how you are able to participate in this protocol and what the process actually looks like to receive these tokens, the company said that the tokens will launch through user distribution and yield farming contracts, just as the next hard fork combinator event rolls out for Goguen in February. A cause for concern by a lot of Cardano community members is that if you are participating in this lending market, how will that affect the amount of ADA delegated to stake pools? So for instance, let's say if you wanted to participate in the Liqwid DeFi protocol and provide liquidity so that you could earn Liqwid tokens, how is that going to affect the stake pools and what the amount of ADA is that is being delegated to these pools? So Liqwid went ahead and provided some information about that, disproving some of those claims, revealing that users who want to supply liquidity to lending pools on their platform won't have to give up delegating their tokens to a stake pool. What this is going to mean is that you're able to earn passive rewards by delegating your ADA to a stake pool just like you would normally, and you will also be able to participate in this liquidity lending market on this DeFi platform. I think this is very exciting, the first actual DeFi protocol that's being built for Cardano. Another question that many people are receiving is, will there be support for hardware wallets? So they are working on this. The core developers are currently exploring the option of having a hardware wallet connected to its platform. This will enable users who have their funds held in cold storage, either on a Ledger or a Trezor device, to be able to participate in these liquidity pools as well. So lots of cool things coming from Liqwid Finance. If you guys do want to stay updated with the progress they are making, be sure to follow them on Twitter at Liqwid Finance. Next up, taking a look at the social activity for Cardano reaching an all-time high. Is this correlated to what we've seen recently with the rise in price? Taking a look at some data here on Twitter, some of the key terms that are being searched for on social media include pool, stake, and stake pools. So people are gaining interest into Cardano and participating in staking and choosing a stake pool. I know personally, whenever I post something on social media related to Cardano, recently definitely seeing a lot more engagement with members in the community. There's a lot of excitement around Cardano, especially with what we're anticipating with Goguen. So I think there is definitely a rise in interest overall on how people can get involved with this project. So lots of cool things happening there. One of the biggest things that I'm looking forward to, of course, since we're talking about DeFi, one thing I'm interested to see is which smart contract applications will be rolled over from Ethereum over onto Cardano. As you guys know, Ethereum definitely does have quite a network effect as it comes to the users on the platform. And once Cardano has all of the functionality of being able to implement certain dApps, that's going to create a lot of incentive for people who are interested in building on Cardano, because it's going to run these applications faster, cheaper, and more scalable. According to Charles Hoskinson, he's saying that the real potential of DeFi will be realized in developing countries, where he sees the potential to acquire 100 million new users within the next 3 years. So you guys know that Cardano has a big focus in continents like Africa. They've got deals in the works with Ethiopia, with the country of Georgia. So they're working with these governments and these jurisdictions to bring about their solutions to these developing economies. Hoskinson said that Cardano was built for the purpose of creating liquidity for the poorest people in the world and allow them to build wealth and protect the wealth that they've acquired. Absolutely, I completely agree with that. And all of the utility that is going to be built on Cardano, it's going to be very interesting to see how that relates to the fundamental value of the entire ecosystem and how that reflects to the ADA price. Looking at the broader cryptocurrency market, some big news that we've seen recently is that BlackRock has joined the Bitcoin business. This is a big deal. BlackRock, one of the biggest names as it comes to investing, has now authorized 2 of its funds to invest in Bitcoin futures. So $8.7 trillion asset under management. Of course, you guys know it's going to be a small fraction of this total allocation, but just to think, even 1% of $8.7 trillion, that's $87 billion from BlackRock alone. That's not even including all the other institutional interest from companies like Grayscale, PayPal, Square. There is a lot of interest now coming into Bitcoin. As far as how BlackRock intends on entering into this market, they're saying that the funds that they are using are only permitted to trade cash-settled Bitcoin futures, meaning that the holder will receive a simple cash credit once the contract expires. Such settlements do not require physical delivery of the underlying asset. So the institutional interest in cryptocurrency in Bitcoin is not slowing down at all. Big money is here to the party. I wanted to go ahead and discuss some interesting developments as it relates to metadata. So with the phased rollout release of Goguen, metadata is now a feature of smart contracts that is already implemented and ready to go to start using on the blockchain. Now, what are some potential use cases of metadata? So there was actually a workshop a couple days ago from IOHK. They talked about this and they went through some examples of why metadata is going to be very important. So let's go through some of these applications. First we see is validation and verification. So the Cardano Foundation showed an example using their Scan Trust authentication platform with their partner Buys Wine. Metadata can be used to validate and verify external physical products and genuine articles. And you can do this using unique identifiers such as a QR code. Another is going to be authentication and attribution. So when you receive credentials from an educational institution, a membership organization, or something like that, how do you prove that that credential or that certificate granted by that institution is legitimate? Another is secure record of information. Metadata attached to a transaction and confirmed on the Cardano blockchain is immutable. So what this means is that it cannot be changed. Once it's on the blockchain, that's it. It's there forever. So it's a great way to store and back up information that is important. So what we're seeing right now, I've actually got a pretty cool little snippet for you. We're actually embedding pieces of history into the blockchain. And lastly is going to be timestamping. Timestamping is useful for a transaction which requires payment details to be attached, allowing anybody to verify the time and date at which something was bought, sold, or transferred. So essentially what metadata is in a nutshell, it's used to tell a story of a transaction. anytime you go through a transaction, whether it's to purchase or to sell an item, there is a story tied to that transaction. So that is the interesting thing about metadata. When paired with off-chain infrastructure such as physical identifiers, metadata can serve as a confirmation or assurance of authenticity. So I wanted to show you an example. This is what we're seeing now with metadata. This is from Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, just yesterday, coming out and saying cryptocurrencies are a particular concern. I think many are used, at least in a transaction sense, mainly for illicit financing. And I think we really need to examine ways in which we can curtail their use and make sure that money laundering doesn't occur through these channels. So I will leave it there as far as what these banksters are doing and trying to shut down cryptocurrency. This is what we're seeing, right? So take it for what you will. Of course, you guys know that this is history in the making. These banks don't want to give up their power. They are deathly afraid of cryptocurrencies. And we see that these words from Janet Yellen definitely do show the sentiment of those in power of the current monetary system. And last up, for those of you all who have stayed till the very end, taking a look at the chart for Bitcoin dominance. So a lot of people are asking when altcoin season. So best indicator of that, in my opinion, is going to be the chart for Bitcoin dominance. I've been tracking this chart now for a while, and I found something notable I just wanted to share with you all. So taking a look at the Bitcoin dominance chart on the daily time frame, we've got just a couple indicators, the 200-day moving average, I've got the volume as well as the MACD and the RSI. So not a whole lot of complicated indicators here, mainly looking for things like support and resistance. So what we can see is that this is a longer term moving average, the 200-day EMA. We're seeing now that we did get a bit of support here at this level, around about 65. One thing as far as these indicators, we can see that the MACD is looking like it's about that level where it's ready to cross over, and we can start to see a bit of reversal there in terms of momentum, as well as RSI. RSI just right above oversold territory. So interesting to see, could we get a bit of a bounce here at this level of support in terms of Bitcoin dominance? Or are altcoins going to start to take over and we break below this key level of support? So interesting to see, keeping an eye on it. Let me know what you guys think. With the expected release of Goguen coming up in February, March of this year, is Cardano going to have a run against Bitcoin? Or with the institutional interest coming for Bitcoin, are we going to start to see BTC start to make a run towards fresh new highs? Let me know what you guys think. I would love to hear from you all. All right, everyone, that is what I have for you all here in this video today. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to drop a like for me before you go today, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care.
Sugoi.